The Wolves hosted another tough conference opponent in Mars Hill. Our cameras were there for the latest game. Wolves tennis player Barbara Havlova visits us in the studio. And several Wolves teams help feed the community. We'll have the story, all this and more coming up on Wolves Weekly. From the Langford Center Studios at Newberry College, I'm Tucker Moore.
And I'm Courtney Belton. Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. The Newberry College football team has been on a roller coaster ride as of late, but in the end, they have come out on top, winning 4 straight. The Wolves were 5-1, entering the last matchup against Mars Hill. Our Wolves Weekly team was there to bring you the highlights.
The Newberry Wolves hosted SAC opponent Mars Hill in a packed homecoming game full of family and alumni. Newberry entered looking to build on a close win over Tusculum, while Mars Hill aimed to bounce back from a tough loss against Emory and Henry. Newberry received the opening kickoff and started at its own 23-yard line. The Wolves wasted no time marching down the field in just 3 plays, thanks to a 13-yard reception by Keith DeSaucher, followed by a 58-yard rushing touchdown from Tyleek Mathis to take an early 7-0 lead. Mars Hill's first drive stalled quickly, with the Wolves' defense forcing a 3-and-out. Newberry's offense stayed hot. Starting from their own 17, quarterback Reed Sharpie hit Quez Spells on a short pass, and Spells turned it into an 82-yard touchdown to make it 14-0 just 5 minutes into the game. The Wolves' defense continued to dominate on the Lions' next possession. Jalen Stafford intercepted a pass and returned it 28 yards, setting up Newberry on Mars Hill's 2-yard line. Grayson White powered up the middle for another touchdown, extending the lead 21-0. Mars Hill finally responded with its 17-play, 7-minute drive capped by a 5-yard rushing touchdown, cutting the deficit to 21-7 late in the first quarter. The Wolves answered with a 15-play drive on their own, using up 5 minutes of the clock before kicker Burke Nettles hit a field goal from the Lions' 14-yard line to make it 24-7 midway through the second quarter. The Wolves' defense forced another quick punt, but Newberry's next drive ended with a missed field goal from 31 yards out. Mars Hill took advantage, going 69 yards in 6 plays to score and trim the lead to 24-14 before halftime. Newberry's final drive of the half ended in a punt, and the Wolves took a 10-point lead heading into the locker room. Mars Hill received the second half kickoff, but Newberry's defense struck again. Avery McFadden recovered a fumble to give the Wolves great field position. However, the Lions' defense held firm, forcing another missed field goal from Newberry. The Lions capitalized by driving 79 yards in 8 plays to pull within 3, 21-24. With 11 minutes left in the third quarter. After trading punts, the Wolves' offense found a rhythm again. Sharpie completed 7 straight passes to move the ball deep into Lion territory, and running back Rico Dorsey Jr. capped the drive off with the 30-yard touchdown run, putting the Wolves up 31-21 entering the fourth quarter. Mars Hill responded with the field goal to make the score 31-24 early in the fourth quarter. The Lions' defense then forced a fumble at the midfield, but the Wolves' defense answered immediately by forcing a fumble of their own to regain possession. With momentum back on their side, Newberry put together 8 plays, clock-draining drive. Running back Jonah Norris finished it with a 13-yard rushing touchdown to push the lead to 38-24 with 5 minutes remaining. Mars Hill's next drive ended when Jaden Kiner intercepted a pass, sealing the win for the Wolves. Newberry ran the clock out behind a 30-yard run by Kaheem Brunson to secure the 38-24 victory. With the win, Newberry improves to 6-1 overall and 5-1 in SAC play. The Wolves will look to continue their momentum next Saturday when they host Emory and Henry at 6 p.m. Cooper Gay, NCTV.
And what an amazing game, Courtney. I hope everybody, first of all, was able to come out and enjoy the homecoming festivities. Homecoming is always just such a great big event, and it's, you know, kind of periperated by going out and getting a big win like that. You look at this senior leadership on this team, whether it be Keith Desashore, who, by the way, had his third straight 10 reception, 100-yard game this week. What a great player. He's really coming to his own in his time here. And Reed Sharpia leading this team. They've really just commanded control of the team. All the leaders on this team, even on the defense, like Devron Williams, really anchoring the defense. And just overall, this team, you know, like I said, they controlled from the very first play. You know, they never trailed in this game, and they held them off even when they started to come back. So just really proud of these guys, and this senior leadership, like I said, has just really commanded control of this team.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't agree more. I mean, the offense came out spectacular, had everybody just in an amazed state of mind when offense just kept coming with more touchdowns. I mean, it was the first, 5 minutes of the game, and they just came out blazing. I mean, you could tell it was homecoming, but the Wolves definitely put on a show. So I think that's definitely something we could look forward to versus our next game.
That's right. And speaking of that next game, big game against Emory and Henry coming up this week. They're currently second in the SAC standings. You know, not to mention Newberry catapulted themselves into the leading for the conference standings. So really excited for that one, but we'll have that next week. But Wolves Weekly will continue in a moment.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm Phillip Wade. Joining me today in the studio from the Wolves tennis team is Barbara Havlova. Barbara, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. So you're one of the new transfers here. I just want to know, where'd you come from? How you been liking it here so far?
So my transfer story is a little bit more complicated. I played a year at Incarnate Word in Texas, and then I transferred to Northeastern State in Oklahoma. So this is my third program. But like all I can say from my experience so far is that like the people out here are so nice. Like my coaching staff and the whole team has been like such like a nice change. Like everybody is really good.
Dang, this is your third program. That's a lot. Speaking of your coaching staff and teammates, I was going to ask, how's it been getting to like know them?
Like it's been actually like super easy because we spend so much time together. But so actually like our team on the women's side is completely international. So it's been like super fun getting to know all of them because they come from all parts of the world. So it's been really fun.
Speaking of that, you come from somewhere too. You come from the Czech Republic.
Yes.
I want to know how you ended up all the way over there and ended up all the way over here.
So the thing is, college athletics aren't really a thing outside of America. So for me to be able to like continue doing tennis at a very high level, I had to come here to the United States because at home I would have to choose whether I go and like either do college full time or I become a professional athlete, which with tennis is very complicated.
I was going to ask, what do you look to do with tennis after you graduate?
I don't know right now what that looks like for me, but I could see myself getting like a GA position and potentially like staying in the coaching world because I feel like, you know, that's a little bit of my calling, like to keep on like letting little kids grow with tennis because there are so many like life lessons you can learn through tennis.
Yeah, I was also finna ask, who inspired you to play tennis? Because, you know, everybody that plays a sport, they always got that one person. So, like, you have a favorite athlete, somebody in your life that inspired you?
I wouldn't say I had like a tennis player inspire me, But I'd say like my dad, because he was a professional cyclist back at home and he was on the national team. So he has always like pushed that mentality, like to be working hard, to hold yourself accountable. And he was the one who like pushed me towards athletics, and he took me to like my first tennis lesson when I was 4 years old. So he was definitely like my mentor, or the person that brought me to the sport.
That's a very interesting fact. So lastly, I got a personal question. So you're also a business administration major.
Yes.
After you get your degree, what you look forward to do with that?
So I'm also getting a double major in like nonprofit organizations. So like with a business degree, I'd like to give something back to the world. Like, I don't know what that exactly means, but I could see myself like helping out people through business, not just looking at like the profit side of like business, but actually like doing something to help people.
That's very interesting. And all the information that you said, very interesting, especially the fact that I found out you came from the Czech Republic. I was like, wow, that's all the way in Europe.
Yeah.
But also, thank you for coming here with us in Wolves Weekly and sharing all these facts about you and your future and all those. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Wolves Weekly be right back after this break.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm Tucker Moore. The Wolves football team certainly delivers excitement all to the fans every Saturday, as do many of the other teams here at Newberry College. But during the week, they also deliver something far more important. Our team has a story.
At Newberry College, teamwork goes far beyond the playing field. Football goes to help out with the food bank every Thursday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Student athletes from men's and women's tennis, soccer, they also help out with the food bank. Football teams volunteer their time working around their busy schedules to give back. Located just down from Nan Street, within walking distance of campus, in the other CTE building.
Quite a few years now. Typically we come on Thursdays because we have practice early in the morning, so it kind of fits their schedule better. Football's over with for today, so let's go do something good for somebody else. It's off and on anytime from like 10 till after lunch, the 3 or 4 hour block right in there where guys come and go around their class schedule.
How it made me feel like, even though I'm playing for a class, but like how it changed my perspective on this is like, if you get an assignment, you just go do it. Like, I don't care. Like, just go through it. But after coming here, like multiple times doing it over and over, it's like I kind of like built the relationship. Like some of the people that come through the line, like old folks, like how you doing? Ask them. It's just like it's a different perspective once you actually doing it more than once.
It's nice to see them down here helping us, and when most people don't come around, it's good for them to come and help people with the food and stuff and contribute it and stuff like that, and when they ain't doing nothing, and it's very nice of them to do that. Last time it's been probably about 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, I used to help. It's probably about 15 years since I started helping them. It done grow a whole lot. Real grow. It's great. It help everybody out in the community. Yeah.
The Living Hope Foundation began as a small operation over 20 years ago. As time passed, it grew, adapted, and made lasting advances in its outreach. Today, the bridge between campus and the community is even stronger, thanks to the college leaders like Dr. Peggy Winder, Carlton Conard, who served on the foundation board. Newberry College isn't just preparing students for success, it's inspiring them to serve, connect, and lead them with purpose.
I think he's doing a good job. He keep it up. Send it every day you want it. No, send it every Thursday. Let me phrase it every Thursday. Yeah, every Thursday. I think y'all doing a wonderful job.
I'm on the Newberry tennis team, and coming here, like volunteering and giving back to the community, it helps me, you know, like, I guess just, it makes me feel good and like confident, I guess.
I think it definitely gives another perspective on how to help people. Definitely the community needs it, and we're just happy to help everyone that needs it. And yeah, I think it's just a really useful thing to provide for everyone, not just for us, but for everyone.
Okay, me, I work with the Health Foundation. I volunteer, and I'm glad to be here this morning. Thank you, Ken.
There is a road laid out for me.
Boxes everywhere. And this is gonna be Addie's room.
I am blind,
I think you're really gonna like it.
I hope so. Yeah. I know this road is there for me. There is a long way.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Ways down by the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
I got this.
I know this love is there for me.
Okay.
If I'm really free, take me down to the river and wash me.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. Now let's get to the scoreboard and get you caught up with all the action that took place over the past week. The Newberry field hockey team continued its dominant season with a commanding 6-0 shutout over Lincoln Memorial on Saturday afternoon. With the win, the Wolves improved to 12-0 overall and 8-0 in South Atlantic Conference play, remaining as the league's only unbeaten team and clinching the #1 seed in the SAC tournament. Newberry will host the tournament semifinals and finals from November 7th to November 9th at Setzler Field. Newberry's offensive pressure was relentless from the opening whistle, recording 23 total shots and 16 on goal while holding the Rail Splitters to just 3 attempts all game. Vivian Damen and Parker Keeler both scored 2 goals for Newberry. The Wolves return home for their next contest this week at Setzler Field, where they host Coker University.
The Newberry men's soccer team battled hard on the road, earning a 1-1 draw at Coker. Dennis Begvandi put the Wolves ahead in the 21st minute before Coker leveled it on a penalty earned in the second half. Goalkeeper Charlie Clark was clutch, making 7 saves, 6 after halftime to help Newberry hold the score. Despite being outshot 18-9, the Wolves' defense stood tall. They're now 5-2-3 overall and 1-2-3 in the South Atlantic Conference play.
The Newberry College women's soccer team showed resilience at home but came up just short with a 2-1 loss versus Wingate University on Saturday afternoon at the Smith Road Complex. Wingate opened the scoring in the 12th minute, but the Wolves responded quickly. In the 18th minute, Isabella Altifor scored her first goal of the season, pulling Newberry and Wingate even at 1-1. The Bulldogs regained the lead in the 69th minute, and despite a strong push from the Wolves in the final 20 minutes, they couldn't find the goal. The Wolves now move to 5-4-1 and 1-4 in SAC, and will face off against Lincoln Memorial on the road this week.
The Newberry women's golf team wrapped up play at the Newberry Women's Fall Invitational on Tuesday, finishing 8th overall at +110. After weather canceled one day, the Wolves came back strong through the final rounds. Natalia Aguilar tying for 17th place with a total score of 236 over 20 par, highlighted by a birdie on the opening hole. Chloe Tanner climbed to 31st, while Rushna Ali and Ashton Mosley tied for 36th.
Newberry College senior forward for the field hockey team, Emma Westbrook, has been named the National Division II Offensive Player of the Week, as announced by the National Field Hockey Coaches Association last Wednesday. Westbrook put together a dominant week for the Wolves, scoring 4 goals and totaling 8 points across the 2 matches. The Dover, Delaware native's offensive production has been a driving force behind Newberry's recent success and continued to climb in the South Atlantic Conference standings. In addition to the national honor, Westbrook was also recognized as the South Atlantic Conference Offensive Player of the Week, marking a clean sweep of the week's top awards. Each week during the season, the NFHCA recognizes one offensive and defensive standout in each NCAA division for exceptional performance. Westbrook's recognition marks another milestone in her impressive career as she continues to make history as Newberry's all-time leading scorer in points.
And as always, don't forget that you can find the latest on Newberry College athletics at newberrywolves.com. You can find all the headlines, check the stats, learn how the teams are getting ready for the next game, see the latest schedules, and get your official Wolves merchandise. All this is available anytime you want it and anywhere you want it at newberrywolves.com. And now, let's take a look ahead at our weekend slate of games for your Newberry Wolves. And that's all for this edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm Courtney Belton.
And I'm Tucker Moore. Join us next time for more Wolves Weekly.